20% of people can give psychic readings. What does that mean for you? In today's video, we are going to be covering how you are going to be able to become the best psychic with my top 5 tips. I'm going to be talking to you about how coming out as a psychic with your friends and family is so important, how you can read someone's energy, aka giving a psychic reading. So stay tuned to the end of the video where I'll be giving you a little extra tip. Hi, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Sarah. I am a life coach, a spiritual mentor, and a recognised author. I have over 8 years experience working within the psychic and spiritual realms. And my goal today is to transport all of my knowledge and wealth and of experience and share it with you so that you can become a psychic pro. Imagine you're at work and a feeling of dread comes over you. This feeling is getting stronger and stronger and you can't pinpoint where it's coming from. And then all of a sudden you hear from the distance,
"Can you come into my office, please?"
It's your boss. He's calling you into the office, and this feeling of dread just keeps getting stronger and stronger. Now, I know all of you have been through this situation more than once, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
What you actually experienced was the feeling and the shift in energy. So you felt it within your body before your mind understood what is going on.
Now, this is really important to tip number 1, because in the spiritual community, you will hear the word energy a lot. Now, what we mean by energy is basically a change or a shift in emotions. That is the easiest way for you to get your first grasp and understanding of what it means.
So when you go through that experience, you felt the shift in energy. You felt the change in the dynamic. The energy had shifted.
When I used to get an unusual feeling or a sudden shift in energy, I would stop what I was doing. I would close my eyes and I would try to ask what the message was trying to show me. Sometimes this may come in the form of a vision. Sometimes I may have felt what was coming. Sometimes this may have been in the form of an intuition, like an inner knowing. It's going to be very important for you to tap into this energy. And when you feel the energy shift happen, I want you to do what I did, close your eyes and try to receive the message that you are being sent. The more you do this, the more you are going to awaken and bring awareness to your additional senses. This moves on to tip number 2, which is feeling into the energy around you and getting comfortable in receiving the messages that are coming through. You may find that you are stronger in receiving these messages in a form of a vision. Some people are stronger in receiving them intuitively, and some people may just have an inner knowing. It's going to be different for everybody. So finding the right way for you is going to be very important. And there is no right or wrong message that comes through. When you feel like you are receiving a message, I don't want you to question it. I want you to allow the message to come through, and I want you to just sit with that feeling or sit with the vision that you have been given. Because what happens is when we try to understand it with our conscious mind, the message is already gone and we are shutting down our additional senses. Allow the thoughts and the messages and the feelings to come through and sit with those. Don't analyze them or try to understand them. Just accept them as they are. This moves us on to tip number 3. So I had a client that reached out to me. She was in urgent need of a psychic reading. I connected with her husband, who had sadly passed the year before. Now, as soon as I was giving this message and giving the reading, the client's husband said, "It's okay, don't worry about the car." Now, to me, this meant absolutely nothing. Could have been an insignificant message, but I am so glad that I gave the message to the client that day, because as soon as I gave it to her, my client had a big emotional shift. She let out a big cry and pent up energy that she'd been holding in. She went on to explain to me that the reason why her husband had said this is because his car was his pride and joy. And since he had passed, she hadn't been able to move it from her driveway. She hadn't been able to step inside of it or sell it because she knew how much it meant to him. This is why it's so important that any message we receive, we don't question it. We just accept the message that is coming through to us. As I mentioned in tip number 2, if you try to analyze or make sense of the message coming through, you will start to untangle what it actually means. Are you still with me? Good. On to tip 4. If you have successfully practiced all tips up until this point, you will then start to open up your psychic senses. And this is where it gets really interesting, guys, because by practicing every single day, you are opening up your ability to connect with the higher realms. Now, where do you start and how do you even go about giving a psychic reading? In the early stages of connecting with your psychic senses, you're going to find that you are given messages about everybody. I was receiving this constantly. I would walk into the supermarket, I was given information for the cashier in front of me all the time. My best advice is to never give any messages unless they have explicitly been asked for. This is very, very important because the person that you are giving the message to, 1, may not want to receive the message. 2, they may not be in the emotional headspace or the emotional capacity to receive the message you're giving. And 3, they may not be open to psychic readings. So it's very important not to give any messages unless somebody has explicitly asked you for them. So who does that leave? Who can you read for? I have a group, Psychic Circle members on Facebook, that is dedicated to exactly this. And we practice readings on each other within the group. We receive feedback, which helps you to grow. So what I will do is I will pop a link in the description box below, or you can head over to Facebook, Psychic Circle membership. And this is part of tip number. Receiving feedback for your readings is what is going to give you the confidence to become a top psychic. Once you have practiced and you've been receiving feedback on your readings on a regular basis, you're going to be able to trust the messages that come through. But without receiving this feedback, you have no confirmation that the messages you receive are in fact accurate. If you have successfully followed all of the guidance and my top 5 tips in this video today, you will find that within 2 weeks, you will confidently be giving 80% accuracy within your psychic messages. Now, this is absolutely amazing for all of you who are looking to open up your skills quickly, effectively, and efficiently. My main tip for you today is going to be practice, practice, practice. This is like a muscle. The more you strengthen the muscle, the stronger the muscle is going to get. This is why I say to you to practice 3 to 4 times a day, every single day, for a minimum of 2 weeks. Why is it so important that you come out to your friends and family as a psychic? I struggled with this one myself for a very long time. I didn't know how to tell people that I did in fact have psychic abilities. Now, this is something that I held in for much longer than I should, because the reason why it's so important to share this is because it builds your confidence in what it is you're doing. So step over your fear of being able to share your skills and experience with the world and be confident in your abilities. If you are still with us, it's been absolutely amazing to be able to share my tips with you today. I really hope they have helped. So head over to our Facebook group, Psychic Circle members. I hope you have the most amazing day and I love you lots. Mwah!